Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? You just got to ignite the light, let it shine, and own the night, and leave them all in awe, awe, awe. And that's what Andy Cook's done. All this talk of bloody fireworks kept him up, fireworks this, Andy Cook. He gets the boy, scores a goal. I don't even know what they add on to it. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, and it's nonsensical because, you know, how can a Bradford man ever be kept up by fireworks? It happens every bloody night. We're used to it. You know, you've got to be creative. Don't threaten us with something we already have. You know, we have fireworks every night, so you know that shows their education on Bradford. You know, did you not watch Bradford on Duty? You know, if that were it called, that bloody stupid bloody programme that didn't really do much to help Bradford, did it? But you know, I suppose it's very hard to try and promote Bradford in a good way, and it's very easy to do it in a bad way, and that's what they chose to do. But yeah, you know, they should have watched and done the research really, because if they did, they'd have known that fireworks don't faze us in the slightest because we're used to it. So there's that in there. But yeah, you know, as for the intro, you know, they'll be crying tonight, will Carlisle. You know, that there'll be floods of tears. You know, that the flood guards will be up in Carlisle towns across the town of Carlisle, and I'm sure the police will be helping the evacuations as Rita and Barbara and Ken are fleeing from the homes because there's too much floods from all the tears, because we've got one up over them. Not for the first time, not for the last time, but of course the big one mattered, didn't it? At Brunton Park, I think it is. And you know, that's it's just a bit of a sweet win to try and get us over that, because we're still not over it. But of course, I don't think we played too well. They had the chance. You know, Charlie White missed 2 sitters, and on another day them 2 go in and we've lost this game. And that's how tight football can be. And you know, it's all tongue in cheek that before, because you know, I don't have a problem with Carlisle. It is handbags, but you know, it's funny to have a bit of banter with clubs, because you know, as Richard Keys famously said, it's just banter. But you know, this is just banter. There's no well, I say there's no sexism or like that. But you know, the keyboard warriors, they do have the ways, don't they? But you know, I haven't seen any of it. But yeah, it's just banter to me. But yeah. You know, because you know, you don't get much of it. But yeah, Carlisle, they were all right, I thought. You know, that they played well in parts. They had the momentum in swings of it, and they were just before the goal. We knew it were coming. I think everyone in the ground knew they were going to score at some point. Didn't expect it to be a champagne super blunder from Sam Walker. I did think that Harry Lewis just morphed into him at that moment in time, but unfortunately he didn't. It was Sam Walker for his second mistake for Bradford City, 2 in 2 weeks. Now, you know, I'm getting flashbacks. You know, I'm getting the COPD stuff coming, because if that's the right word, I don't know if it is. It's probably something completely different, but it sounded like it, you know, when you get the flashbacks. And, you know, I saw it happen, and I thought, right, this is not good, because that's 2 in 2 for Sam. And we know how Harry Lewis started last season, and it didn't go on to end well for him. He sort of made a mistake for the goal, I suppose. You know, he played it into a man who had a man on him, and he lost the ball because he got played the ball when he probably shouldn't have. So I suppose you could count that as a mistake. And we then scored from it 2 minutes in, and it was a great start. And it only helped the atmosphere. It went up a bit, naturally dipped a bit, because you know we didn't really create much after then, especially leading up to half time. We sort of sat back on it and, you know, to try to protect the league, getting at half-time 1-0. We did that reasonably well, although we did concede a couple of good chances. I think that was around the time where Charlie White hit the post. But, you know, I must say, he obviously missed the open goal where he flicked it on towards the corner flag. Probably got confused with how many times we've sacked a manager and thought that's what he should be aiming for, the corner flag treat, but when he scores. But obviously that's not what you aim for. But it's happened that many times at Bradford City. We've seen the corner flag more times than goals in recent seasons. It seems like that anyway. But no, he then had the chance to hit the post, but yeah, he was a bit of a ghost. He would have done a great audition in place of Patrick Swayze for Ghost, to be honest with you. because you know, I thought Neil Byrne had him in his back pocket. You know, he gets many of disgrace from a fellow content creator in Sam SHD, and I thought it was great. Again, Sam was Byrne, so you know, I have that, and you've got to admit it. You know, you've got to admit it, and you know, you've also got to admit other things like your receding hairline. Just get rid of it. I think we all need to have a chat, and I think that, you know, we need to do. I think we should all get over on his comments. He'll do his vlog, he'll be out, and he'll be watching this because he watches my videos twice apparently. I barely watch his once. I very much struggle to get to the end of his videos. He talks too fast. So we all need to get over to the comments and just say, get rid of your hair, because for me, you know, I don't know if you saw the video Sunday. 1,000 did. I'm joking. No, well, I'm not, but you know, I was joking about the sort of David Brent. 1,000 did, but they did, and you know, so you might have watched it, and I had to sit next to this guy with a bloody cap on. You know, it's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for you. You don't want to see it. So I think he needs to admit Neil Byrne is a very solid League Two centre back, and I think he needs to admit that he needs to get rid of his hair. And you know, I'm sure it'll return like you know, Charlie White's form, but only when he goes to Turkey, and you know, we'll see if he's got the moles. I don't even know where I was. I don't know how I got onto what I was on to, but I think we were talking about movies and Ghost. But you know, I watch many movies. That is probably one of 50, if that. You know, there's not many. I don't know if Lion King counts, but you know, well, I suppose if kids' movies count, it's probably up quite a lot. But I couldn't tell you half of what happened in any of them, because you know, before, what's the brain IQ of a 4-year-old? What does a 4-year-old think? You know, I was watching Mamma Mia a lot at that age, but you know, I didn't have a clue what was going on. It's just that one of the people on it looked like my nan, so you know, I just saw it as her was in this movie, which obviously she wasn't. And I look at it now and I think you didn't look anything like her. So that says everything about my brain capacity as a 4-year-old, thinking that someone is someone that looks nothing like them. So yeah, you know, I take that for a pinch of salt. But yeah, I mean, you could call me Michael Owen, couldn't you, for that? I suppose, because I think he's only watched 7 movies. And I think they're all the Rockies, which I've watched the Rockies, to be fair. They're good movies. That they are good movies. But hopefully that's the only thing you call me Michael Owen for. I think you know, you know, I don't know. Let me know what you think of me. I don't know how you think of me, but hopefully you think of me as a better analyst of football. I don't know, but or just speaks better football. I don't really analyse a game, so I just talk a lot of rubbish after it. But yeah, I don't think I'm like Michael Owen at all. But yeah, but I mean, back on to Charlie White. You know, if he's put those 2 balls in the back of the net, and then Carlisle would have had a much better chance of winning. And you know, if then they scored that, I think they probably would have won. So you know, if you don't score, you don't win. The pressing was it was interesting. We got it right on parts. We got the goal for it with Jamie Walker, fantastic. Great pressing. But then other parts, down the sides, the wings, I thought were a bit too high, down the wing sides, and teams this season relentlessly been able to play it just in behind our wing backs so easily, and then they get a 1v1 with our centre back, and it happens time and time again, and it's something we have to tweak. We have to find a way of altering it so it doesn't happen all the time, because that's how teams are getting their chances, mainly down the left side, but constantly. And let me know what your thoughts are on that, and why those chances keep trickling down our wing sides. I'm going to keep this brief. Obviously, it's a big talking point. Harry Lewis was booed, of course, throughout the game. Half-time, a lot might not have seen it. He was coming over, and you know, he was sort of clapping whilst getting booed, and then it turned into, I don't know if you heard it. I whacked the mic. It turned into a round of applause, and it was quite a gathered one. And I suppose you hear the minority. You hear the vocal minority rather than the silent majority, and that's definitely the case in that. I don't have a problem if you booed. I don't have a problem if you didn't, but I didn't boo because he went to the fire memorial, and I think it takes a great person to do that, who played at a football club. He didn't like the Charles Vernon doing that, and he didn't like all the others doing that, and you know, doing all this, and you know, other fingers are used apart from these 2, and going like that. He didn't like that. You know, he showed a lot of class, and that's the type of guy he is. You know, and that's the type of guy I've always seen in him. and then to go to the fire memorial, it's just it's almost disrespectful, I think, to do it. And I'm not afraid of upsetting people, because I said the same about Smallwood, and I know it's 50-50, but I think when I wouldn't be bothered either which way. But if he's gone to the fire memorial, how many players can you say who played for the football club in the last 5 years, 10 years, maybe even longer, have gone to that? Not many. You know, you can't name many at all. You know, and that's sad in itself. So for him to go, it speaks high volumes of the man that he is. But I completely get the football side of it as well. But then you sort of go, well, you know, if he's getting more money, playing in a high league when he left, and the club might have forced him out, then, you know, I don't think you can argue too much against that either. But yeah, I'm not sure he deserved that. But like I say, you deserve the right to boo because you're paying. So that's why I never have a problem with it. Now the referee, what an idiot we had. You know, for both fans, you know, I try and be balanced. Although, you know, I had a bit of a stew stirring the pot earlier, and I did it with Grimsby, of course. I didn't even really mean to do it with bloody Grimsby, but yeah. So the referee, but for both teams, were poor. They should have had a penalty. I won't say who gave away the penalty because I can't confess that. Neil Byrne, he might have handballed it in the penalty box. Poor Neil, didn't know what he was doing, and you know, he was dying for the 3 points. So I don't have a problem with that, but it was a penalty. So that was a big mistake. Carlisle should have had a penalty, and we should have had a penalty. Andy Cook about to pull the trigger. You know, he's staring down at him, pulling the trigger. Bang, gets pulled back. Couldn't shoot, couldn't score. Hat-trick with Lumen. Missed that opportunity. Poor refereeing. Penalty all day long. So we got the 3 points. That's all that matters. We didn't do it in style, but we got over the line, and I think Ballyparade has the capacity to really be a fortress this season. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments down below, but that was a special feeling walking out of the ground, thinking there was a good atmosphere in there. It can get better. The performance can get better. The results can get better. And that's the exciting thing. I believe in this manager, and I believe in this team, and I believe in these fans as well. And I think if that can all gel like I believe it can, we can have a very exciting season in our hands, because that's not the type of game we normally win, is it? But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you're new. On the road to 700 subscribers. All the support is very much appreciated. Have a good one.